Hi, it's Jessie. I'm back again, and I have some thoughts to share. Um, I started off in Romans 9, and I'm going to start from verse 21. It says, "Does not the potter have the right to make out of the same lump of clay some pottery for special purposes and some for common use?" The reason I was thinking about this is because we all look the same, right? We all look the same, but some of us, when we're hit, some of us break, you know. We break past the point of being broken, like it says in Isaiah 30, and its breaking is like that of a potter's vessel that is smashed so ruthlessly that among its fragments not a shard is found with which to take fire from the earth or to dip up water out of the cistern. Okay, so we're broken to the point where we're of no use. We're we're just we're like the dead in the tombs. We can't serve any purpose because we're completely unreliable. A cistern that can't hold water is inconsistent and unreliable. As you pour into it, the holes get bigger, and so it's fit to be smashed and thrown back into the fire. But if there's no pieces left to throw into the fire, you've got nothing left. Some of us break to the point where we're dead. You know, but there's some of us that as you break us, we get stronger. With every lash that you put on us, we only get stronger and grow in wisdom and in the knowledge of God. And we press closer to God and we come closer into His purpose. In Romans 9:25, as He says in Hosea 2:23, actually, "I will call them my people who are not my people, and I will call her my loved one who is not my loved one." So even though they're breaking it, they're beating the mess out of you, and it looks like God doesn't love you. It looks like God has forsaken you. You got to understand that as you're taking these licks and you're growing stronger by pulling closer to Him, as you're seeking Him more. The Bible tells us, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and then all these things will be added onto you." So as you make Him your prize, you're not making justice or vengeance your prize. You're not trying to take out the ones who took you down, but you're praying unto God, "Come down to us, let us know you, let us get an encounter." What the people really need is to know their God, because if they knew their God, they wouldn't hate me so much. And so as the more they hate you, the more you pull on Him, and you're not pulling on Him to be free from them. You're not pulling on Him to gain the riches in the world. You're not pulling on Him to bring their death, but you're pulling on Him so that His glory may be revealed through you. And this is the place where it's found that the one who didn't look like His beloved one is actually His beloved one, because He's the one who will answer His beloved in that great and terrible day of the Lord, right? That's what they call it. For some, it's going to look like a great and horrible day, but to some, it's going to look like redemption. It's going to look like liberty for the captives. It's going to look like Daddy's home. you know. So I was thinking on this because God made vessels. He made all kinds of different vessels. When we look at Jesus and when He was washing the disciples' feet, how would we think that a king could wash feet? Peter, he rebuked him, saying, "Not my feet, Lord. You can't wash my feet, right?" And Jesus was like, "Unless you let me wash your feet, then you'll never be clean," right? So we have to understand that the thing about Jesus is people were probably washing their feet on Him His whole life long. They called Him crazy back from where He came from. But, crazy to me is just an excuse that the devil uses after he abused you to make it look like nothing happened, or to make it look like you're to blame for what happened. The devil's a nasty beast, and he's got all these tricky labels. But once you learn the label, you learn what it means, and then you come to honor the man. Because When you've been washing feet your whole life, when you've been somebody's doormat, in other words, your whole life, you know, it has the power to break you down, to make you want to give up on life, the power to say, you know what, no more, I've had enough, you know. But when Jesus washed the feet of the disciples, he did something amazing. He embraced his role as a doormat, not by laying down and taking abuse, but by picking it up and saying, this is what I came for. I didn't come to destroy you. I came to make you clean. I came to lead you to salvation. And all that anger and hostility and rage that you're putting on me, that's just your spirit groaning because you're afraid to come before Papa. But I'm going to wash your feet so that you're clean when you go before him. And this way, you know that you don't have to beat on me. I'm going to clean you. You don't need to work me to get me to do it. I'm going to do it because God told me to. Because this is my purpose in life, you know? When you submit yourself to God, you make yourself a vessel of honor, you know? You gotta make sure that your motives are clean, that you keep your heart right, right? Because God doesn't want us to be punks in the world. He doesn't want us to be, you know, laying around dead, you know. He wants us alive. He wants a living sacrifice. So Jesus washing the feet of the disciples was Jesus giving God a living sacrifice so that people could be reconciled back unto God, you know. And if you could do that without having to go through all that war, you know, maybe instead of beating the person down that you're stepping on to get them to take your dirt, you would say thank you, you know. But you got to be aware. You got to be cautious when you're putting dirt on somebody, you know, because you only have control over the appearance of that person for as long as you're a part of their life. But let's say they break free from you and get away, and let's say they were never willing to be your doormat. Let's say that they said that let Jesus be enough, you know, and shine the light that, you know, if he came to be our sacrifice, you know, then what do you need me for? Is not Jesus more mighty than I? You know, he's been dead 2,000 years, and his blood has not yet lost its power. And his is the only sacrifice worth using because he doesn't take back his word. He doesn't. He's always a willing sacrifice. He's always willing to take your burdens from him. Yeah, there's a price. You know, you got to turn away from your wicked ways. But the blessing that comes with it is far greater than if you had stayed back there cutting up people with swords trying to cover up your guilt, you know? It's far greater to be free of all that misery and turmoil and chaos, you know, to just walk in your life and build something because we're called to build something, you know, we're created in his image to be a reflection, which means that we're created to build. You know, he is our creator. We're created to be creative. And if we have no use, you know, we're dead. God wants a living sacrifice, you know. That's why he sent Jesus to raise the dead, to let people know that, you know, you still have purpose in this world, right? So, I had another verse for you from Jeremiah 18:4. And the vessel he was making of clay was spoiled in the potter's hands, and he reworked it into another vessel as it seemed good to the potter to do. So sometimes when God is mixing us up, you know, when we're getting broken, you know, sometimes it breaks us to break us down. And sometimes it breaks us to make us stronger. But then sometimes it breaks us to make us evil. And this is the really hard part. I sometimes look at my mom. I can't be angry at her. I can't be angry at her ever because she had so much turmoil on her, you know. It was more than she could bear, you know. And so I have sympathy for her, but that's not to say that I enjoy some of the things that I've endured because of the way that she was, you know. And I'm not trying to dishonor my mom here, but I am saying that I understand what it means to be spoiled in the potter's hands, you know, as he's working you know. But the thing is, um, she is representative to me for like the people on the world. Like it's not so much that you're evil, it's just you got broken. You got broken and you couldn't serve your purpose anymore, and yet you still wanted to look righteous, but you couldn't do it in your own strength. And so you lashed out at the world to make yourself look better when really all you had to do was fall on your knees and ask Jesus to come into your life, you know? All you had to do was say, walk with me, show me the way, you know? This turmoil in my life, God come in and help me. God, I know my mom prayed a lot. She was a very prayerful woman, you know? She was always praying for somebody. But the thing is, you gotta ask for the right things, right? So, as we're looking at this, you know, if it's spoiled in their hands, you know, it comes out bitter. It comes out really bitter and broken. And the only way to fix those things is, you know, to throw them back into the fire and let them be disintegrated, right? So that you can rework it, right? But that fire thing, that, that fire thing is a real hard thing to deal with. And unless you got that fourth man in the fire, you're bound to be destroyed. And it does no good to throw the flames at somebody else. It really won't save you at all. And in fact, it'll just make you worse, you know? So I think what I'm trying to say here is like this is why Jesus came to wash your feet, because he understood that you got spoiled in your hands and you came out of his hands to sin, and he came back to reconcile you back to get back into his hands, you know, so that he could work you and finish you off as a fine product, and maybe you even come out better than before, you know. But before you can, you know, be reconciled back to him, you have to actually turn to him, which is why, like, Jesus came down to make that invitation to return, you know, making it so that you don't have to worry about your sins. Just come back, put yourself back in the potter's hands, and let him remold you and reshape you. So that's my word for today. That's what I've been thinking about vessels. And thinking about, you know, embracing the vessel that you are, and also maybe doing some self-examination and considering, you know, what areas you need to work on. What do you really need from Jesus? Yeah, I know some people need a new house, or some people need food to eat, but how can Jesus help you more, you know, to be who God called you to be? What do you need Jesus to do to be who God called you to be, you know? Because you weren't called to be a slave for anybody. You're called to be free and creative and loving and giving and caring. And if you're not, then it's time to ask the question of what do you need from God, and what can you start asking him for? Jump through Jesus and get back in his hands so that he can remold you and reshape you, right? That's about it. Y'all have a good day.